So today and tomorrow we're covering exponential functions. This is a quick overview, and you guys got to know that this is the basis of our whole next unit that we're going to be doing, which is finance. And finance has to do with interest rates, and interest is all exponential, okay? So the first thing you need to know is that all exponentials are in this form. Y equals A times B to the x power. A is your initial value. And B is your rate of growth or decay. Okay? So it says what values of B make it an exponential growth function? Well, that's when B is greater than 1. So when you multiply something by something that's greater than 1, it grows. If you multiply something by a fraction that's less than 1, it shrinks, it decays. So on this one, between 0 and 1 is when it decays.
What about if b is equal to 1?
Then it doesn't do anything. It's flatlined. It doesn't grow or decay if b is equal to 1. Okay? So, sketch an exponential growth function. It could look something like this. Actually, it shouldn't have been, it should be straight. It doesn't go down and then up. It goes straight and then up. Okay? And then a decay would look something like this. And it could be anywhere on that graph. Okay? So take a moment and fill in this right here. Actually, do the rest of the page. I'm going to pause this, and I want you guys to tell me if these are growth or decay. Just do that real quick. Okay, so on this one, it's a decay. This one's a growth. Yep, and the decay. So now on the bottom ones, you're really looking at the ones that are in the parentheses. That's your B value. If it's greater than 1, it's a growth. So this is a growth. This one is what? Decay. I'm going to say D for decay. What's this one? Growth. That's a G. How about this one? Growth. Decay. Decay. Good. So the question on this is, does this equation represent a growth or decay? It's a decay. And it says, what is the growth or decay factor? 0.57. Good. And that's the same for this. The rate. Okay. What is the initial value? 35. So on this next one, it's a little different. What is this a growth or a decay? Growth. And the factor is 1.3. But what is its initial value? It's 1 because there's not really anything in front of it. But if I took 1 times this, that's still 1.3, correct? So my A value in this is a 1. Okay, so take a minute, finish out the rest of these notes, and we'll check them in a second. Okay, so on this one, we have a growth factor because it's above 1. It's 1.03, and the initial value is 1.4. On the next page, you should have gotten a decay because the factor is 0.75, which is less than 1, and the initial value is 16. Going on down, this would be a decay because it's less than 1. It's not much of a decay, but it's still a decay. It's very slow. 0.95, and the initial value is 4.5. And then last was growth. The factor is 3, and the initial value is 8. Yeah, I got a little bit more to talk about here. So, okay, so this is your homework page. And one of the things that I wanted to point out is that you will be given tables, and you need to figure out from the table how to write your equation. Yes. Sorry. There you go. Okay, so the way to do that is you need to take your last value and divide it by the one in front of it. Okay, so that would be 3950 divided by 790. And the answer of that is 5. It's got a rate of 5. And you want to check that to see that's even for each one. So if you take 790 divided by 158, that is also 5. So your rate of growth, oops, row of growth, should be rate of growth. Put my two words together, was 5, your B value, right? Okay, so we need to go back in time to find our initial rate, our initial value. That is at time 0. So you need to mark that as your initial value. That's your A value. And in order to do that, we are going to go back by taking 158 divided by 5. Okay, so 158 divided by 5 is 31.6. How do I go back to 0 now? Divide that by 5, and that is 6.32. Yes?
So why are you dividing it by 5 things the B?
Yep, that's my rate. So I already know if to go from here to here, I multiplied this by 5 to get to here, right? And then from here to here, I multiplied this by 5. So you're doing that for each one of these. All right, so now we have our initial value, we have our rate of growth, and you can write the equation right here, A equals A times B to the x power. You can replace the A with 6.32, which we found here.
Wait, did you say A equals A times B?
Yep, A times B.
That was Y.
Y, I'm sorry, Y equals A times V. Sorry. Okay, so A here is 6.32, replacing that like it says here. And the B is 5. Okay, so what you're going to need to do with these ones down below here is go back to 0 to find your initial value, find your rate, and make your equation. Okay?